Hello, and welcome, Nomads, to a mysterious episode of the Nomads of Fantasy. I am your host, Dave. This week, this is a video game podcast and movie podcast, weekly-ish pace where we put out, talking about almost a new place every week. So, with us this week, we have lurking in the den, Mr. Brandon.
Greetings from Reddington.
Oh, wow. Thank you. And skulking in a hallway, Mr. Eric.
I'm actually in the basement. Get your rooms right.
The basement.
Stones cut by hand and letters wrought to spell our secrets carved from thought. A message read is often lost among the bold words spoken soft. The note is read. Letter not.
Damn it.
Cryptic.
Wow.
I don't even know if I've ever seen that or heard that.
You've probably seen it.
No, I don't know about this after some discussions. We are talking about blueprints today. This is a very brand new game. Came out beginning of April 25th, 2025.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm a little lost over here. This is a puzzle adventure game with a roguelike twist to it. It's been all the rage. There's been a lot of yippity yappity out on the internet about it. Everybody seems to love it or not be so thrilled about it. Some people have been bouncing off with it. Tell me, guys, give me some initial thoughts over here. How have you guys been spending your days?
Did anybody know this game existed?
Dude,
I didn't know. I never heard of this game.
Nope. When we have our fantasy critic going and Dave picked up Blueprints, I'm like, fuck is Blueprints? Like, I've never heard of this game before. I watched the trailer. I was like, okay. I didn't really understand what it was even from the trailer. And then it came out and it's getting all these rave reviews and people are, talking about it on every podcast, every video game podcast. Like, oh, early game of the year contender. I'm like, what the fuck is this game? Then it comes to Game Pass and we're like, okay, let's try it.
Yeah. Well, I initially, when I picked it up for Fantasy Critic, I just watched the trailer and I had heard that, it had some good showings at some early press events or whatever like that. So
killer pickup.
And, made by one guy. I picked up for like $2 or $3. But yeah, I didn't know really what to expect, how good it was actually going to be.
Right.
When we got into it, but I like these kind of puzzle. I don't know. I've declared this as a first-person board game.
I could see
in my Rolodex. It's the beginning of a new genre, the first-person board game genre. But I love board games. Brandon does not love board games as much as I do.
Brandon does not love board games. He does not like deck builders. He does not like. I don't know if he even really likes roguelikes that much. Not really sure what your take on roguelikes is, but puzzle games also is not really your bag. So like, yeah,
I felt kind of bad.
I think you're the odd one out here because I love logic puzzles in games, in fucking whatever, in like Picross or like like other video games that have done this before. Oh, Tunic is another good one. Yeah, Curse of the Golden Idol. Tunic was a big one from a couple years ago that I really loved, but this is definitely my bag. I love deck builders. I love roguelikes. So I knew I was gonna enjoy this one.
You say deck builder, but I think it's a light.
There's some elements
of a deck builder.
Some elements.
I would be careful throwing that around because that's like saying a game is turn-based and it has it in the slightest way, because that might turn off. When you said deck builder, I reacted strongly to it because I'm like, I don't like deck builders at all. But this game, I don't think the deck building is an issue. It's so basic.
It's just your pool of cards that you're pulling from, really.
Well, you can add to the pool in some ways. You can manipulate the pool in some ways. Like, so there's very, very light elements, but it's not. Yeah, sure, not intrusive.
Who wants to take a stab at explaining the game and like what's the point? before we get into because we're going to be in a spoiler territory a little bit. I don't want to go too far because
No,
I haven't finished this
no.
game.
I'm not even
And
close.
we'll explain how that even works. But
Yeah.
if it's
So,
even possible to finish it, but
I give it a run here. So you are gameplay wise, you are working on a 9x5 grid, starting at the bottom center tile, opening doors to build out the map to try to get to a room at the top.
it's all first person. Like your grandfather
Yes.
gave you this mansion, and you're this grandkid, and like he's like,
Uncle.
hey, here you go. I'm dead, but I gave you a letter, and it explains like this house is weird. There's some rules, and now every time you open a door, you pick out of these choices what those doors are gonna be.
It's such a I love that. I just love that base concept. Like you're basically
Very clever.
you're building
Very
a house.
creative.
You know, you are the architect of the map here. So you decide, you get every time you go to open a unopened door, you get a pool. Or polls 3 drafts the technical
You get 3.
drafts 3
Right.
rooms from your pool. And then
And remember, it's a grid, and I think it's I don't know how many it is, but each room is a square in the grid, and there's 5
9 by 5,
columns,
yeah.
5
5
across,
across, and there's
45
9
total.
and
9
9
ranks.
deep. In the very back middle is the hidden room that you're supposed to find that gives you, I don't know, whatever, all the inheritance or something like that. You only have a day and so many steps. Basically, each time you go into a room, it eats one of your steps. Even if you go back into the room you started in, because when I first started playing this game, I went into this game so blind. I'm like in and out of rooms like 4 or 5 times, just exploring, looking for shit. And I'm like, oh, those steps are
Every
going
time
away.
you cross the threshold to another room.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
so
cool
every time you
mechanic to
unlock a
gate
room, you got to
to
go
gate
in
things.
there because there might be items that you might need. The thing I like about this game is if you're listening to this and you're like, should I play it? Should I play it? I think, yeah, if you like puzzle games, this is a no-brainer. If you like a good mystery, I also think that's great. It's also super casual. Like it's hard. Like you should have notes in some way. I use my
The
notes on my
game
phone
literally tells you to
but
take
I think the
notes.
game's easy to play.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
note in the game
not
that's
really a
like
way
you
around it,
should
I
be
don't think.
taking notes because if you're not, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah, and then all the room is full. Each room you go into has so much stuff, and there's always a randomness to the room. I guess is the roguelike part because like each run is going to be unique, and this could be the one you go really far. This might be the one you unlock more story. But the point is to find a way to get to the back to
Get in
beat
the
the game,
antechamber
right?
and
Yeah.
you
Okay.
essentially I've heard people get to the antechamber and there's still a lot of game left to
Yes.
play.
That's like I've heard people say once you get there, it's like the end of chapter 1 of the game. Start chapter 2. So like there's a lot
Lordy.
of like quote unquote
Like Hades
post-game stuff.
Like
Yes.
beating Hades is not. It's like it's the first goal, but then there's like all like you got to do that multiple times.
Yes,
for-
that's what I've heard. So like yeah, so none of us have reached that room yet, right?
No, I've gotten to the room, but the
gotten to it,
doors
but-
are
yep.
locked when you get to them. So
yeah,
it
like,
is. Here's another thing that I like is there's inventory management, and again, this is something that turns me off in games. Again, like everything about this game, I should not like, but it does
Yes.
it just on a basic level. That like my kids or my wife, we all could be in the room and pass. Hey, there's a coin on the floor. Pick that up, because you have gems, you have coins, and you have steps, and you have keys. And what's cool is everything resets each day because you only have so many steps, and each day you have to start over, right?
Unless you get.
But I like
certain
that
things,
are
but-
permanent unlocks that you can have. You know, this isn't a spoiler, but like you can start with like 2 gems and 2 keys. That's what I got going right now in my runs.
You
can
start
have
with 2
permanent
gems and 2
upgrades.
keys?
Yeah,
I am right now. With
Shit,
the
I
things
dog.
have another. I have 3 of the permanent upgrades unlocked so far.
Okay.
Yeah, the
And
one
there's
that
stuff that I'm collecting. I don't even know what they do.
right.
You know, there's things like red letters that you have, and I found 2, but I don't know how many or what I'm doing with
See,
them.
I found
You know,
on day 30 something and I found 0 red letters. And a part of me feels like I'm racing
So-
through the game trying to like find new shit, but like thinking that I don't have what I need to solve the room that I'm in, so I'm looking for another room.
Right.
Do
And
you want
this
me
is
to?
where the game with all these layers come in. How do you
Yeah.
how do you play the game? So knowing what we've talked about, if somebody's listening to this, like I would say go, because we're gonna dig into how we've been playing it. Because you have the same starting point every time. It's the the middle of the first row. But then it's up to you to open a door. And sometimes the room will give you a dead end, but it might be give you a dead end in a good way, where it's like a utility box, or it could be a bedroom where it boosts your steps, or there's a kitchen to buy stuff, or there might be money and there's multiple doors or whatever. And also one last thing I'll say that I think is really cool is you have color coded room types. So
Yes.
blue is the basic because it's a blueprint and the game's blueprints, very clever. But like you get the blue rooms, those are basic, and you have the green rooms, which are
They're all nature based, and the green rooms are of some significance. But again, don't want to spoil anything.
yeah, there's connections there I haven't gotten yet. Orange rooms, which are multiple doors, I think they're usually
The
typically
hallways, they're
hallways.
always hallways. Yep.
And then red is usually negative. Something going against you is kind of like, so you can have 2 gems to avoid the red room and the 3 that you get when you unlock a door or whatever. But I don't know. You might not have gems, and you might have to take that red room, and they'll have some kind of negative.
Sometimes it sucks.
I'll say, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, on that point, I'll say if you're thinking about playing this game, you have to be okay with some days not turning out too great. But the thing that I love
Just experiment when that happens.
most about this game is, like, you might not get something tangible on each run, but what you're getting on each day is knowledge. Some little piece of knowledge or some new thread that you can pull.
Hey, what game?
Peeling back a layer of the onion.
Outer Wild or something like that was like that, right? The game you died.
Yeah,
Sun kept
and it
exploding, but
reset
you
every
had to like
day.
unlock. That's a cool genre, but I think this specifically, I think could blow up into other genres. But anywho,
Yeah.
The first person board game genre. It's the first of its kind.
So like, there'll be some days where you don't progression, quote unquote, in this game is weird because there's only a couple permanent things that you unlock. The progression is learning new things, learning how the house works, learning how to get to your end goal, learning how to unlock certain things or solve certain puzzles. So like every run, like you said, you could hit a dead end and you can't go any more north, but like, oh, you still have a few doors like that you haven't opened yet.
go to the shed.
Go
you can always
open
go to
those.
the shed.
Yeah, but
I go to the shed.
There's the shed.
Go to the shed first.
Oh yeah. Go to the shed
Oh,
first. I always do
excuse
that,
me, because
I pick up my
I
allowance.
used to do that, and then I would like regret not having something, and I always keep it as like if I have the extra steps, if I'm not too far in, I'll go and then do the shed.
Well, see,
but maybe I should just do it.
if we're talking shed, like having a nice, I mean, we've all played a fair amount of time. A hobble run. There's a room.
Yeah,
that lets you swap out diamonds instead of steps, which is
that could get you into some trouble though.
I haven't done that one
fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good fun.
Then you see, this is like the cool thing that I like about the game too, is that you can sort of plan your day of like what you want to do for that day. Like, you know that, like you said, if you want to go for that, you go to the shed, you come up with the hobble. Okay, I don't need any gems this run because I know I'll need more steps. So you go for like bedrooms that will give you more steps, or you go for, things that will build upon giving you more steps instead of like going for rooms that will give you gems, so like you can sort of plan out how you want to tackle each day and what you want to.
I'm realizing how important steps are.
Yeah.
You
know, it's huge. And the permanent upgrade
I
got
because you got to bounce around sometimes
was huge in that regard.
Oh, okay. There's a permanent boost for it. Would you get like some sneakers that stay on your goddamn feet?
You start with more steps each.
Oh, okay.
That one, nice. I got that one.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
That one yet.
That is nice.
I think I start with 30. I think I start with 30 a day.
It's 30? Always 50. 50 is the initial start.
The 50 at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what I have then.
Yep. Yeah, and you can get more from the permanent on.
And it's weird. I was
So
talking to my buddy yesterday about this game, and I'm like in the 30s of days. I've had some short days where I get, my patience is running a little thin, and I just start ripping through rooms, and I end up having like maybe a 15 room run instead of
It
trying to
always
draw
makes
it
you
out
feel
into
like
like a 20
shit
room.
too when pops up the end screen and it's like, oh, you made a rustic villa that's like fucking tiny, and you discovered 0 new rooms.
Yeah,
yeah,
discovering zero new rooms burns, but like I was talking to him yesterday, and I've done 30 days, he's done 12, but he's still found like a couple more blue rooms than I have, and he has like gotten
Dude,
more red letters than I have, and he's gotten more like other things, and like solving puzzles. I don't know if
it's
it's
all
like,
random though. That's
dude,
the
yeah,
thing.
if you
like
It's so
don't get a
random.
certain room,
day
because
4 in my playthrough was like huge, one of my biggest days. Like that's like what I remember. Like day 4, I had some huge revelations, and then like today, I'm on day 20, and I had some like more. I feel like since then I haven't had as many big breakthroughs, but
Hmm.
now I'm getting to like, okay, there's some
There,
shit going on.
I'm on day 38, 39, 38, 39, I think, and I have had the most lore or world building whenever I find the room. Forget what it's called, but it has basically, was it Zoltar from
Oh
Big?
yeah,
He's like
the
the
romp room or
gypsy
whatever.
Rompus room,
Rompus room, yep.
Rompus room. I would
that's a cool
suggest
room.
that if you want to learn more about what's going on in that game, that one
I've only
goes to
gotten that one
cutscenes, and
once.
he
And
does expedition. Okay,
yeah.
he does exposition there, and he explains a lot. So each time you really need to pay attention because he's telling you more facts, and then he'll also have a permanent upgrade waiting for you the next
You
time.
gotta have
Guys, can
coins.
I tell you about one thing that was crazy that happened? So the game's so random, and I really think it fucks with you sometimes, right?
Yes.
It's like
100%.
it'll be how about like dig rooms and with dig spots everywhere, but no
And no
shovel. I'm like,
shovel.
oh, fucking game, right? I always feel like the game taunts me, like, or it gives me like a boatload of keys or gems, but like I'm all the rooms I got were shit,
Yeah. I
you know?
I think some of it is less random than we think it is. Like I think there are I'm guessing there are certain days, like points where it's like, okay, on this day we're gonna give you some more stuff to like get through what
I
you're trying to do,
wonder.
you know?
I
It's like
wonder. Well,
I've
because
had
Yeah,
this one thing happened.
yeah, go ahead.
certain
Well, this
rooms
one
start
thing
appearing at a
happened
certain
with
time.
the vault. The vault room gave me a tip of information that I was like, oh, I I could use that knowledge because there's another room that has a time sensitive thing which gave me a red letter,
Yep.
and I was like, no shit,
Yep.
this is the same day I can do this. I just got to set the time right because it's time sensitive. So I had to go through the house and find like a clock. Like, okay, what time? And
Well,
then
there's
the rules
clocks in
like
every
you have to
single
have
room.
this. Yeah, yeah, I know. But I always go to the den because it's the
Mhm.
big one. But anyways, it was just like, and then I had to run to that room and set the timer through the computer, and you got to put the
Yep.
password in. But anyways, it's yeah, all that shit. And I was like, man, they kind of hooked me, or was it random? I don't know. You think some of it is guided a little bit? You think it's somewhat
It
guided
is.
where they're like,
I 100% think so.
they're day 55, they need to unlock something.
Yeah. That's what
Because it
that's
is
what
a
it
little
feels like
trickle
to me.
every day. Like
Yep.
I don't know, not there's few and far between wasted days.
Yeah,
But because there's always something little that you're picking up, and that's kind of the thing. Like if you're struggling or if you're getting frustrated, like just do another day. Like that's
yep.
the that's the
True.
And
pull that
you can
kind of
call it a day anytime you
keeps you
want
churning
to.
through in it.
Like
Yeah,
if you're well, yeah, I always exhaust all
never.
of my options before I'm like, or I either call it a day or just run out of steps. Like I've never like
Yeah.
ending a day early or anything. I didn't get what I want. But like I could
I'll give
see,
you a tip. The library has a book you
oh
can
yeah,
take out, and they give you all the tips from the game developers. But anywho, yeah.
yeah. I've checked out.
Library's
I think I only
nice.
have one book left to check out. I've checked out all of
Okay,
them
I have
except
like
one so far.
2 or 3.
Um, so yeah, man. There's so many things, and I'm telling you guys, I'm constantly taking out my phone and literally taking pictures of the screen just so I can remember every little thing. And like again, this game messes with you because it makes you think, and it probably is true, that every single thing means something, and like you're gonna have to remember this at some point. You know, like
I
So
think
much
it
information.
kind of does though.
there's one
'Cause-
thing that I knew early on that I noticed, on like day one, which I can just tell you guys. It
The
was
paintings.
well, those, yes, and I think I haven't like
I see the paintings. I know there's something there, but
I
I
think
don't
I
know
know. I think I
what
know.
they offer.
I think I know, but
I'm close.
I
Yes.
learned something that they say that every room, he made sure that there were two. I was like, reading a note and it said he made sure that there were paintings in every room, and there's two of them for a reason, and they mean something.
yeah.
Mhm.
But he
Yes.
he didn't give the key to what they meant. So I go in a room and I'm like, okay, there's like like a mannequin's body and a cot in like one of the rooms, like I don't know, one of the closets or something like that. And I'm like, why? What are you trying to tell me with that? You know, or
then
I'll
you're
see
gonna
like the ace
hit
of
that.
cards with like a shovel, and I'm like, or ace of something, you know, like I'm like ace of diamonds or something like that. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? Can't it's there's so much. There's every room has a
Dude,
chess piece,
that was
and I
what
don't
I
like,
was
I don't know
referring
what
to.
those mean
Day
either, but I
one,
know they mean something.
day one, I noticed the chess pieces. I'm like, these are going to be important. Today, right before I,
figured that
before we
out?
started the recording, I figured out what they're for, and now I have to get like a fucking spreadsheet.
Did you figure it out on your own, or did the game give you
You get a
something that
spreadsheet
unlocked?
out.
I am in a place
Uh,
now where I need to know what chess pieces are in each room. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
Wow,
that sounds
okay.
right.
Yeah,
I've
that's
got a
crazy
little
because
bit
you're
of
on
those
day
pictures.
20.
I'm on day 20, but I
almost
feel like
doubled
I
you.
have I'm at the
Yeah.
point where I'm just trying to get everything to line up, because I know exactly how to get into the antechamber, but I just need everything to line up the correct way. So that's kind of the point where I'm at. And
Have
like,
you unlocked all 3 doors to the room?
uh
I've only
no,
unlocked
but
2.
it's, whatever. Anyways, I don't want to get into like spoiler stuff, but
Wow, okay, alright. Well, Dave, hold on. Dave is as far as I am. Where are you with all this stuff? I mean, Eric's somehow, like,
I
pretty
mean,
far.
Well, I am, baby.
like I said, I don't have any of these red envelopes. I got a fair amount of things that I want to do, but like I just haven't been able to get a good run together. Like most of the times, I've only got like one of those flames left outdoors. I don't know what those flames do. Like I know,
Oh, there's 4, right? I
pictures.
think I've done
Yep.
2.
got all
There's
4
pictures on the
today.
wall. I know
Did you?
kind of what to do with them. I don't know what the fuck they mean. Like I've fucked around with the power. I fucked around with the water. I fucked around with.
There was one
Dude,
last
that
night.
power room
Yeah.
drives me crazy because I know some rooms benefit from having power,
Oh, are you talking about the
but they're
boiler
not
room?
connected.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah, the boiler room,
I
the
haven't
big
actually
power source.
drafted that yet. Like I haven't actually
Really?
that
Okay.
hasn't come up for me yet.
Okay.
I did some stuff with
That's a puzzle in itself,
I
but
did some
I
stuff
like
with
that
the
some of these puzzles, once you solve it, it's permanently solved,
Yes.
so that you don't have
That's
to do that.
with
Because the
Mhm.
parlor and the billiard, you have to do those every
and
time.
I'm
But
proud of
those are fine.
myself. I've
Yeah.
never failed a parlor puzzle after like how
Parlor, really?
many ever I've done. I've
They
always
get,
gotten
dude,
it
I
right.
started failing them like not a lot, but I've started failing them in these later ones. I'm like, fuck.
And I upgraded the
yeah.
room where I get 3 gems now.
Yes, that is a
Ooh,
nice
nice. I
one.
haven't had that. I just updated my Nook. I'm like, yeah, give me those 2 keys, baby.
Yeah, I've only
I
upgraded
fucking
2
didn't do
rooms
that.
so
I'm
far.
an idiot.
I've had
Dude,
The Nook, I did it so I get the library after every time I draw the Nook,
that's pretty cool.
oh
which
yeah,
is
I saw
interesting
that.
because I have a couple extra things to read now.
I
But I
was
wish I really
Okay.
had that second key.
with
Like
this
I was
game.
I was kicking myself.
I was 100%.
Keys and gems are all I care about.
I was 100% convinced that there was like there might be also, but like a hidden book or something in the library. So I was like looking at every single book on the bookshelf to like see if I could pull a book or something to reveal a hidden room.
I gotta ask you guys a question. So one of the rooms you can draft is orange. I believe it's called Secret
Secret
Entrance.
Passage. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Passage. So you can pick, and it's cool because like the book that sticks out will tell you, by the color you can
Yes,
tell
color
what kind of
coded.
room it's going to be. There is a red one.
Yeah.
Why, oh, why would anybody ever purposely
know.
pick a red book
I always
or
pick
red
the green
house
room.
to get like
Always.
furnace or the
I've
bathroom or
run
something like that?
experiments where you like
I'm so tempted to do it.
every red room you draw, you lose 5 steps, but you gain 1 allowance or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, one of the red rooms
there are
is
other
really
reasons
important
like
that you need to look into one of the red rooms. There's a big thing. Which, Dave, if you've unlocked the
all
orchard,
of them.
then you know. Have you
Wait,
unlocked?
red rooms are
Yeah.
You've unlocked
yeah.
the
the
orchard, right? Yeah.
gymnasium, the
Yes.
weight room, the boiler room, the dark room,
Yep. Chapel.
Chapel, like I've still got to figure out those fucking stained glass windows in there. Like that's gonna mean
I
something.
think I got
at
a
some
clue
point.
for that that I'll
What
have
the
to
fuck?
investigate a little bit. Yeah.
Have
I get
you
too
have
high
you
when
guys
I play
unlocked the
these
permanent
games.
room? Have you unlocked the permanent room yet?
Yes.
In
There's a room.
the house, there's at one point you're gonna unlock a room that's
I
permanent.
don't know if I've gotten to that yet. Then no.
That's room number 1 on the list. That's
Okay, I'll have to look.
how I tell them.
So that has a room that takes you to another room. But what's interesting was I thought this was cool, and it could be other rooms, but for me it was the chapel. If you build that room on the other side of the room that I'm talking about, it gives you a special door. It has a crank to lower the thing. I was like, oh, that's
Dude,
really
yeah.
cool. I like the connection
Yeah,
of
I don't
some
think
rooms
I've
where
gotten
they're
that yet.
back to each other. They'll have an effect on the room other side. I think that's pretty cool. Like this
Same
this
thing with
game
electricity. There's
layers
like
things very well.
there's conduits across the ceilings, so you can
Yep.
apparently run. I haven't done it yet. There's always
Yeah, I want to. There's a room that needs power. I was like, oh.
That's
I
the
have drained the pool
problem
though.
I have.
There's a pool room.
Drain the
You-
pool.
you
I
get
did
in the
everything
pool-
with the pump room. And
Dude, that took me an hour
really?
to figure out. It took me. It was driving me crazy. I could get the water out of all, but I couldn't. And then I was like, I got it.
Yep.
And I drained that pool, and I got all the money, and yeah, it was.
I don't know.
That was it.
So
Like,
far
I
I
didn't-
haven't struggled with any of the puzzles that I've come across. Like
There's
Your developer mind.
yeah, I guess so.
There's the safe. I haven't gotten into the safe yet. Like
In the
that's
which one? There's a
in
multiple.
the boudoir.
Okay, that one's
Oh,
just look around
with
more
the
in that
computer?
room.
No, that's what somebody said. Is like you find it's so easy, and there's like a green room where
It's not so
there's a green room where you need a thing, and I've had the thing in the green room. I just haven't figured out how to fucking do it.
I'll tell you with the boudoir, the clue is in the room, but it's not super obvious. I mean, it's
not
but
the
it
picture?
isn't. It is the picture.
Fuck, I've been staring at it.
Just look at the
constantly.
picture.
Yeah.
What's the
Wait,
picture?
there's a
I know.
safe in that room.
Yes.
Oh,
In
see,
that
now I
room?
have an idea.
Yeah.
There's a
try it.
mannequin and a couch and shoes on the ground.
There's a
and,
screen. You just gotta walk.
Pressing. Yeah,
Gotta walk around.
on the other side, the private
Motherfucker,
area.
I want to go do a run right
safe
now.
over
I know
there?
exactly. I
Yeah.
know what it is now.
Oh yeah.
You're
Once
telling
you-
me the key to that is in that room as well, and it's based off the
It's
picture.
not a key. It's yeah. You just gotta look at the picture and what's the picture. That's
Okay.
all I'll say. I don't
was thinking-
want to give it.
I was
away,
thinking
but
like 8 steps deep when I only
It's-
needed to be thinking
it's-
like 1 step
it's
deep.
so
Are there a lot of
obvious.
rooms
It's
that are
kind of
like that?
dumb.
Are there a lot
Yes.
of rooms that like there's a lot more going on? Like for example, the spare room, where it's just like
That one, I haven't seen anything.
I don't know.
to do in
I
there.
was assuming you were going to upgrade it at some point. Was my guess. Upgrade it to something cool, or be able to swap it out with something, or
I mean, the way they present it, it's like okay, it's just a means to get to another room, which is fine. I like
Yeah.
that passageway.
it's a way to not have to draw a shitty card.
Right, exactly.
Oh, there goes Brandon. No, I mean, like the fact that Brandon does like it, and the fact that he is our resident bro gamer, I think is a huge vote of confidence in the in the direction of Blueprints. But I knew kind of the two of us were gonna end up liking it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how he would feel about it, but I knew as soon as I started playing, I'm like, yeah, this is my shit right here.
It's beautiful. I mean, the art style of it. I guess we haven't really been talking about puzzles and stuff like that. The art style of it is like a cell shaded kind of look to it. It's fairly basic, but it
Yeah.
does look super nice.
Yeah, I think it has to be a relatively clean art style to sort of convey everything too, because like it's all like super, like you said, it's super basic, but I wouldn't want it to be so intricate that some of like, because even so, sometimes some of the items are hard to see. Like there's a coin hidden in a corner or something, or like I've missed, like I've walked by like items in the room, like a sledgehammer will just be sitting on the table, or a shovel will be in the corner, and sometimes I'll just like miss it, and then turn around and be like, oh shit, there's an item right, So
Go to the security room and then you feel like a real dummy when it says like you missed something.
oh
It's
yeah,
always
yep,
I have a there's the layers of the onions and I guess the way that there's no hand holding, like there's barely any tutorial to it. Like you
no,
read these things that you pick up in each room as you go through. Um, I
yeah,
mean, it kind of encourages you to look everywhere, but at the same time, you know, experiment with other stuff. I don't know. It's a weird little. There's a couple different like ways you can go about it. So some people have like specific missions they go on each day. I usually just fucking fire from the hip and go from just draw whatever I can to move along as quickly as I can. I know what tables stuff is gonna like all the random stuff is gonna be set out on, or the spots on the floor where there's gonna be a random coin.
yep. That's
Just
usually
trying to run with it.
That's usually what I do. I mean, today when I was doing my run before the pod, I knew I wanted to do something, and everything just lined up perfectly for me to be able to do it, which was great. That's like the only time that's ever happened in this game where I had something I wanted to do on a day, and I actually was able to do it. But yeah, usually I'm just like, you know, drafting and then trying to get as far north as I can, and
I was
then
gonna say, are you pushing up first, or are you pushing out like as
so
you go?
a note this is I don't know if this, but a note led me
This says not to rush.
that too,
Like,
but there's a specific note that misleads you, that so some notes are not a to say that some notes can mislead you,
sure.
but there was one note that led me to always want to start in the west wing. um
Oh,
but yeah, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but that's usually the path I take. Start with the west wing, work my way across. I know there's like I try to fill out. I don't just shoot straight north. I try to fill out as much as I can, like on the bottom.
because yeah, you shoot north too quick, you're gonna run out of gems. You're gonna run out of keys if you don't
Exactly.
get all the cruft on the side.
Yeah, because like usually in the early rooms they'll throw you a parlor or a billiard, and those give
Oh,
you
I
gems and
love a
keys.
early den.
Early
Really
den,
eating that
yep.
up.
Just get a
Early den is
gem right
nice
off the
because you get
bat.
2 ways out. Like,
I
yeah, it's
I'd pick the den. I pick
tasty.
the den a lot. But yeah, the billiard puzzle, like there's a room that tells you basically like how to do it, but
I have not found that room. I've done it every time
yeah,
with my own brain, and
yep,
every time I walk out of that room, I've not failed. I am the smartest goddamn
same.
man alive until I walk in that room the next time, and I'm like, goddamn, like
So
usually there's like another twist or another. There's always another step or another
I'm at
thing
the
it's adding to that puzzle.
I'm at the point where they introduced like squares, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Um,
Then there's diamonds.
oh,
Diamonds are
I
next.
haven't gotten to that yet.
Like yeah, but those ones I enjoy. I enjoy doing those puzzles. Like part of me
Yeah,
thinks that I don't know if he created them using AI or if he sat down and wrote every single one of these puzzles to figure out how to make it, but it is super one. It was a good interview with the creator of it. I think might have been Game Scoop, IGN, or one of those
mm,
guys. But they were talking to the creator, and he asked him about the poster behind him on the wall. There's
yeah,
3 posters, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like that movie." And he's like, "Yeah, I like this one, but these other 2 ones aren't good." And he asked him why he had them on his wall, and he's like, "They were all made in 1947, and my house address is 1947." And I'm
yep.
like, motherfucker, this guy is just like, he's been cooking all this shit in his brain and stewing on it for so long. He's got all these little tiny tangled webs that he's like leading us on these little goose chase with. So
Yeah, they mentioned that on the besties. That's what I
is it besties? Oh, okay.
Yep. But yeah,
Like that is, it's cool to know that like this guy he's been making this game for like 8 years or something like that.
Insane.
And
gives you a peek into how his brain works and how he, crafted this game, which I don't know. I think this game is like pretty, I don't know, pretty genius the way that he designed and developed everything. Like it's amazing that it even came together in something that was coherent and like that works, especially when you're building it's not like procedurally generated, but building a cohesive house that makes sense, even though sometimes you'll get like
we make it make sense.
There's a bedroom next to your pool room, but
to play with. Yeah. Which is what, like, I will talk about this in the catch-up episode. I just got back from Gamecation where I spent like 3 days in the woods playing nonstop board games, and coming back and having this waiting for me when I got back from Gamecation it felt so familiar. It's just like a single player first person board game where the clues are in the first person environment, but the tile setting out is a very board gamey appeal to it. So I love it.
I'm scared to put this one down for any extended period of time, because I know
looking at you, Oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. I know if I do and I set it down and I go to something else and try to come back to this, I'll have forgotten everything that I knew, or have to relearn everything, or like, where I left off on what I was trying to do. So like I want to keep going with this one until I'm done with it, which I don't know when that will be, just because of how much I've heard there is to this game. Like, I've heard people have spent like over 100 hours in this.
Yes.
I can't imagine myself doing that, but I do want to at least see it through to like credits and then see what's beyond that, what else there is.
Yeah, for sure. It's like beating Hades the first time, like Brandon was mentioning earlier. I could see it not wanting to take a break. Like this past weekend, I didn't play for a couple days, and I can feel it like starting to fade a little bit.
Yep.
Like, I forgetting about this room, but I know that I've been in rooms and I've had the tools that I've needed in said rooms, and I haven't been able to crack some of these, which I can stop getting so high before I start video gaming. I don't know what the problem is here, but never been a problem before, but I got to do a little bit more critical thinking, and I don't know. Maybe I got to slow down and take my time. I was on the phone yesterday while I was doing a run and not paying attention, and I made a 5-room house.
A 5-room house?
A 5-room house. It is almost impossible to have a room or have a house that
Did you choose like all closets?
It went left, up, right, and I blocked myself off, and then I went right once, and I picked the wrong room on accident because I was on the phone and not paying attention, and I picked a closet, and I was just like, bam!
It's like that's always the worst.
It was like a 5-step run. It was whatever. I don't know. The runs don't mean anything. It's just another day in the house up on
Mount Holly
Hill or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mount Holly. Thank you. I'm just waiting for that aha moment. I'm like, it's such a build up. I'm edging my way to puzzle edging my way up to aha my aha moment.
Oh, Brandon's back and he's muted.
Brandon, you're so quiet.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Sound like
shit. Oh, do I? Is it going through my headphones?
I think so.
Something's
right. The recording's through my
That's
microphone.
Fine. It's just video.
The gameplay time, like the length of this game, like how long is it going to be? Is it
what we were just talking about?
100 hours? Like
people were saying they've spent over 100 hours in this game just trying to figure out every little thing, which like I was saying, I can't see myself spending that long, but I at least want to see it through to the end and then see what's beyond that, and then maybe when I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm good, I can start like kind of looking stuff up. to see like, you know, what the crazy secrets are that I would probably never have time to suss out myself. So that's kind of how I want to engage with it. That's kind of what I do with these type of games. Like I did the same thing with Tunic, like I was saying. Like I solved some of the mysteries, but I didn't solve like every single thing, and then I just ended up looking up stuff like how to solve the big. That's probably what I'll end up doing. But right now I'm like
No,
in
you just
the deep, rolling in
let
the
it
deep.
burn.
Yep.
It's nothing better than when you get that first couple days in, and you know what you're sitting down to. You know you're sitting down to a delicious meal of puzzles and mystery.
My only gripe with this game is that you can't like suspend a run, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I mean
Xbox.
with Xbox quick resume,
Quick
yeah, you
resume.
can do that. But like you can't like say like save and quit and then it'll, you know, you just leave off. You have to, if you quit out, it'll be like, "Oh, call it a day." I'm like, "No, I want to keep going on this run, but I don't want to keep playing right now." You know. So it's like it makes you finish out that day. But yeah, with quick resume on Xbox, it's nice. Turn it off and come back. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't have any gripes with this game.
No.
Other than sometimes, you know,
Hey,
you just
they
don't
made math
get the
fun
rooms you want.
and
Yeah.
logic fun.
Yeah, we were talking about the billiard room. That puzzle is always fun. Yeah,
It doesn't feel like it feels like
makes you feel smart.
like a Clue roguelike, or like 'cause it's got that, you know, somebody in the billiard room with the shovel kind of vibe.
Yeah,
kinda.
Clue
Like it's
and like Knives Out. You know, it's that kind of vibe. Similar kind of
yeah.
vibe because like the inheritance and
can
like
see
big
that.
mansion, all this stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
cool. I like that vibe.
Sweet. All right. Well, I don't know if we got anything else to say on here. I think we've kind of talked about just about everything here.
About enough without trying to spoil anything.
Yeah, I'd like to
For each other.
have a
Yeah,
follow up.
exactly.
Yeah, have a follow up on our next couple catch ups as we go. See when and who finishes this game first. But it's kind of taking the world by storm. and
Eric.
It will absolutely be on my game of the year list. I know
Yeah.
we don't do those. We don't do those on the sub website or on the pod really. But
We might have to for this year, dude.
if I'm
It's a good
listing,
year.
if I'm listing out
Oh yeah.
things
I
that
gotta
have an
switch too.
impact, you know.
Yeah.
I'm
Good luck.
gonna try. I'm gonna try my hardest. But yeah,
I
I mean,
sure
this is already our talking this game of the year material.
I like that it's an indie game. Are these the same people that did the escape room game, Dave? Because it looks and sounds like
no,
that
I
game
think
a
this
lot.
is just one guy that made this
Yeah,
by himself.
Dogu Bomb is the developer, but yeah, like Dave said, it's just
Okay.
it's one designer. I think one man team, pretty sure. But yeah, Dave was saying he's been working on this game for like 8 years.
Oh.
Guy
Well, good
named-
for him for having a knockout.
Primarily developed
indie
by
hit.
Tonda Ross.
Yep, yeah, that was his name. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and like
All right.
Excellent. Yeah,
I also kind of wish there was more ambient music too in the background.
Yeah.
There's some here and there, but a lot of times it's just silence, and I'm like, I want to throw like something on in the background, you know?
Yeah,
I listen to
it makes
a
me
podcast
sleepy.
while I play this game or something.
Well,
yeah.
usually,
I
I'm playing it in bed, like on the Steam Deck again, which is
I
that's
have
the perfect game for
struggled
that.
to stay awake for this one sometimes because it's just
Before-
late night, dark room, quiet game where it's just like very moody.
yeah, dude.
And it's
like,
always like, oh, one more day before I go to bed.
Before bed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good for
Tough
that.
time. It's a tough life.
It's also tough because like
before we wrap up,
once you
I
start
wanna-
a run,
I
it's
wanna
like
say-
sorry. I mean, well, I was just saying that average run for me, it's cool because there's stats in the library for like your average run, puzzle solved, all that stuff. I think like average run for me is like 38 minutes or something. So like once you get into a day, it's kind of like you gotta commit to it and finish it out. And that's why I'm like, okay, it's like 11:30. Should I start another run now or another day now, or should I go to bed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard to stop sometimes.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's a horror movie that I saw. It's a found footage movie, and I thought it was really cool. And it's called Grave Encounters. And the premise
you've talked
is
about
this
this one
crew
before.
of people who are, yeah, where they go into this insane asylum and they're gonna spend the night in this insane asylum and film all the ghostly things that happen. So they set up all these cameras. The cool thing that happens is they can't escape. It's eternally nighttime, and every time they open a door to another room, it's another room, even if they've never been there before. And I thought, wow, that's a really cool concept. I can't stop thinking about that movie with this game.
That's cool. That would be a good concept.
And I think like it's like that. I would see a horror version of this where like you have to pick your way,
3J.
but there's like some kind of monster or some kind of horror thing. But yeah, it made me think of that movie.
Did we lose him? Is he on the other side?
He's sometimes moving. Oh.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see if he's back or not. He's kind of moving. He's blinking. He's not moving though.
He's kind of moving.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm here.
What was that movie called again, by the way?
Grave
Encounters.
Encounters.
Okay. Just see it. Keep an eye out for it. See it somewhere.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, I want to get this episode done so I can get another run in before I go to bed tonight.
There you go.
I don't know about you guys.
I gotta finish out my run that I was currently on before this.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I need to start slowing down and paying some more attention. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Let's take a break here, and we'll come back. We'll play a quick game, and you'll be hearing some more blueprints from us in the future. But for now, we'll take a little break. We'll be back after this. And we are back from our discussion of blueprints to play a quick game of video game 20 questions to round out this little puzzle that we're in. We're locked in. If you don't know, 20 questions. These guys have 19 questions to ask, yes or no questions, to try and narrow down what the game I have chosen for today is. They have one guess at the game. Otherwise, they lose, and they do not get to go to the house on Haunted Hill. Whatever we're calling it, the mansion.
Mount Holly.
Mount Holly.
Mount
Thank
Holly,
you. All right. 20 questions begins. I hand this over to you.
No, it's creepy as fuck. Could you imagine? I'd be like,
you open up a room, you don't know what the fuck room it is.
This thing is expensive to build.
Yeah. Dave, is this video game part of a franchise?
Yes.
Is it an exclusive franchise? Sorry, is it an exclusive franchise?
This is question number 2.
Yeah.
No.
Does it have a puzzle solving elements?
Not in the blueprints way, no.
Okay. It's not like based around puzzle.
No.
I would say Resident Evil has puzzles, right?
Yeah, definitely.
This game does not have puzzles then.
Okay. Right. Yeah, like a Zelda game.
Did this game come out? Does this game come out after the year 1999?
Yes.
Did it come out after the year 2009?
No.
Okay, 2000s.
Right,
so that's Xbox 360, PS2,
yeah,
GameCube for the most part, PC.
Yeah, it spans 2 generations, sort of.
Okay.
So it's multi-platform. That. Is it a mostly single player experience?
I mean, there are both single player and multiplayer.
Okay. Is
But
the
multiplayer, is it like co-op or
Yeah,
is it
that's exactly what I was
deathmatch?
saying.
You know, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, so be careful though, because if you say, does it have co-op? Like
say
Halo has co-op,
competitive
but also
or competitive or cooperative or the multiplayer mode?
That's the
yeah,
question.
is the online element
You
focused
didn't say it was
around
online.
competitive? Oh,
Just said multiplayer.
is the multiplayer element focused around a competitive element?
No.
I guess, yeah.
Cooperative.
Could be, yeah. I guess, I mean, for that era, it could be 360, but most likely, I guess maybe not most likely. I was going to say most likely like couch co-op, but that's not most likely. It could be either.
Yeah. Huh.
Does it?
Got
Okay,
my
I
brain
kind of want to
percolating.
get it out of the way. Yeah, does it have online multiplayer? That'll give us era sort of too.
No, not online. It doesn't look like.
Okay.
Castle Crashers has online.
Either on.
Multiplayer,
Well,
right?
I'll give you this. It's either two players on the same console, or I think it might have. I think it might have online.
Okay. Okay, hold
Hmm.
on. What do we know about this game? Like quality wise, like or what is it? First person?
Right, we don't
Is
know
it
genre. We need
platforming?
genre.
2D, 3D. Is this game a 3D game?
No.
Oh.
2D. Okay. But it's
Now,
not
it could
exclusive,
be,
so it's not in Mario.
yeah, 2D could mean
Castle Crashers.
different things too. Like, is it a 2D side scroller? Is it like top down 2D? Is it, what are we talking about here?
Does this game have 4-player cooperative?
It says yes. 4-player, up to 4 players.
4-player co-op. 4-player
Up to
co-op.
4 players,
to
either
4
on the same
players.
console.
Right.
Okay. So Castle Crashers, arcade, Xbox Arcade, PlayStation had like their arcade-ish thing, right?
Not really. Castle
It's a
Crashers
franchise,
is
though.
yeah, Castle Crashers
It's not a
is
franchise.
I mean, so up to 4 players
Not
seems
exclusive.
like more multiplayer focused. Like, you should be playing this with friends if it supports that many people. So
2D, or it's not 3D.
right,
Which by default means
not
2D.
is this like a side-scrolling perspective?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a hack and slash? Right? Is that right, Eric? That hack and slash kind of genre?
I mean, yeah, it could, or beat 'em up.
What would? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like knowing the, I want to get that
I think those are
subgenre
pretty
down.
similar.
Yeah, they are similar.
Is that a question?
Trying to think, because like if it was like a,
You're working
well,
together. You're not going against each
it
other,
could be
right? It's
right. It could be like a, yeah. It's most likely if it's 4 players. It's probably not a
local,
platformer unless it's Mario, which it's not Mario because it's not
which is not
not exclusive. So I'm thinking it's probably more along the lines of, yeah, like a beat 'em up, or like a shmup, you know?
A shmupper?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You are on. That was question 12. Well, you didn't actually ask if it was a hack and slash, so you're on question 12.
Right, we did not ask.
Okay.
Are you killing stuff in this game?
Oh, don't ask that. No, don't answer.
Yes.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Yes, because that'll.
Why?
Why not?
What game would this possibly be where you're not killing something?
It could be, I don't know, a platformer or like a fucking. I'm just trying to
Name me
rule stuff
one.
out.
No, I don't want to. No, hold on. The answer is yes to that. Let's assume
You
it's
don't know
yes.
that.
Do you really need the information on that though?
I mean,
Let's
I know
just
we're
assume that you're
leaning that
killing-
way,
you're-
but
Every game you're killing something.
yeah, in that era too. Yeah. probably shooting shit or stuff up. All right. I mean,
Yeah, I
if
don't
we're
know.
games from that era, then let's try to think of cooperative games where you're beating stuff up or shooting stuff. That's a side scroller.
But what franchise?
Yeah, the franchise too is I feel like is a big clue.
And Dave was an
Is
Xbox
so
guy.
he
It
you
was on Xbox
what was
Arcade,
the specific
probably.
question you asked? Is the video game part of a franchise? Because like it's not like the
No, it's the first question I asked.
Okay, is it
Yeah, I said, is this
okay?
part
Is it
of a franchise?
all right? Is this
It could be
based on
directed.
a
It could be a.
is this based on an IP then? Existing
No.
intellectual property? No. Okay. All right.
It's its own thing. It's
I
a
was-
franchise with a.
I don't think
'cause
so.
I was thinking like like Rayman Legends or something like that. You know, the Rayman games.
Yes, I was
They're-
thinking about that too.
Is that 4-player though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It's great.
that's-
It's beautiful.
Right. That's
Really good
what's
game.
that's what's coming to mind. Does that fall in that year range though?
So far, it does. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know all the game.
They've been making those
There was
games since
Rayman
the late '90s, I think.
Legends, like Rayman Origins, but
Origins was the first one, and then Legends they remastered and they added more stuff to it, I think.
Question number 13. You got a little wiggle room left in here.
Do we ask if they're still making
yeah, that's I like that question.
games?
It's still making games in this
Yeah.
franchise, yeah.
Are they still making entries into this relative to 2025?
Nah, I do not believe so.
Okay. Well, that could be Rayman. They
Still
have
could be
not made a
Rayman.
game.
Yeah, they like you said, they remastered it and like put it on Switch, like not just Switch.
They're all consoles. Yeah.
So like I wouldn't call a remaster like that or a re-release a new entry. So it could, yeah, it could definitely be like Rayman.
What
Could it?
about Scott?
Could it?
What about
I don't know.
Could it? What were you gonna say,
You
Brandon?
guys may.
No, it's not that. I was like Scott Pilgrim,
Oh.
Pilgrim, but that's based off of an IP.
That and I think it was
This is its
after
own.
2009.
Yeah, you might be right.
Feels like it was
What-
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think of like that's like the only thing that comes to mind.
You
is
might
Rayman.
want to.
Rayman.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you guys could narrow down the genre. Might help.
Well, Brandon is convinced that we're shooting and killing stuff in this.
Yeah. Are we shooting guns?
No, don't
in
say
this
shoot
game?
it. No, don't say
Oh,
shooting things. Well,
Alright.
are you? I mean, because like a Rayman game, if we say killing things, I guess technically count that as killing things.
Yeah, you jump on shit.
You're like jumping on stuff. Like is Mario? Well,
Murder.
Mario's killing Goombas, right? When he
Mario's
stomps on their
murdering,
foot.
Mario's
yeah.
killing stuff. Cuphead is killing. Yeah, all those games you're jumping.
Okay,
and
yeah,
killing it.
shooting might narrow it down.
Shooting
more
is a
than-
little more specific.
It is specific, yeah. I like it.
Are you shooting things in this game? The
No.
characters that you play as.
Not shooting.
No.
No guns.
No.
Nah. It's not Metal Slug.
I
Well,
mean that does
That'd
rule
been a
stuff
good
out.
guess.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Are you using swords and bows and arrows?
no.
Okay. It's not a medieval fantasy, any kind of game like that. You're not shooting.
Trying to think of like just other because it's. I mean, to me, it sounds like a platformer, co-op platformer, which like Rayman is the only one that I can think of. Like that would be a co-op platformer
Ryan?
that's not Nintendo.
Ryan?
Oh, Trine? Yeah.
Four
I mean, it
player
could be. It could definitely be that. Part of a franchise.
on everything.
Yeah. There's like fucking 10
Indie.
of those games, right?
Yeah, 5, I think.
I don't know if Dave would pick Trine, though.
Dude,
Obscure.
dude,
Ugh.
Dave, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You son
I'm
of
just
a
sitting
bitch.
over here looking
And
cute.
plus. And plus.
I mean, if then plus, I would not get that.
Can you jump on and off of walls easily in this game? You know what I mean by
yes.
like you
Yeah,
can hop on it. And
I would say that, yes.
you know what I'm saying? N plus is
Yeah, I wouldn't have got
the
that.
second entry. There's N, then there's N plus, and then there's N plus plus. They have not made a sequel in a long ass time. You're just trying to survive. You're not shooting anything. You're not stabbing anything. You're just jumping over things and trying to.
I didn't know
escape.
that
You
game
can
was
bump walls.
co-op, actually.
Oh, dude, it's beautifully done too. The co-op. You can do everything by yourself or with people.
Yeah, I think I've only played
and it has
N plus
online.
for a very short time.
And it came out in the 360 N plus did. It was part of the arcade, Xbox Arcade, and I know it's on everything.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a.
fits all the
I'm trying to think
criteria.
what other games in that era could be, but I don't know how to narrow it down with also helping other, figure out what other game it could be.
Right.
But does this game is the game's art direction rudimentary? Like, is it very
Simple,
very flat,
geometric
simple?
shapes.
Yeah, simple. Is it very simple?
I would say yes.
Okay,
I think yeah.
opposite would be
Sounds
like
like
highlight.
Let me look at it and judge here. Yeah, I'd
Is
call
this
it
part of the
minimal, I guess.
Is this part of the N plus franchise?
Yes.
Now you need to
is.
narrow down.
Wow.
Hold on. Which game is
N
it, though?
came out for Flash.
Okay. All right. I don't know
It was a
about
web-based
these
game.
games.
So two people made it, I believe, and then they made
So
N plus.
I probably played the Flash
You were on
version.
question
actually.
number 19. Let me just put that out there.
Okay.
So
I
you
think
got one
Brandon's
question.
pretty confident that it's
Yeah.
N plus.
Is this N plus?
It is in fact N plus.
Wow,
It was a good poll,
pick, Dave.
dude. I would not have gotten that.
I don't know how I
thought
got that.
everybody has played that game.
Brandon just had a revelation moment.
It's just like bam, hit him.
Right? Dave, you son of a bitch.
It came out in 2008.
I love that game.
For Xbox Live Arcade, came out that same year for Nintendo DS and PlayStation Portable. Those are the only places you can play it.
Oh.
360, DS, PlayStation Portable.
I swear I think I played the Flash version then. I played a lot of Flash games back in the day.
N plus is great, but it's a pain in the ass to play, especially on Xbox, because every person has to sign into their Xbox account to play it. It's so annoying. You can't do a guest. Yeah, but N plus plus is just as good. I love it. My kids and I it's part of our rotation. I highly recommend you playing that with anybody, because even if they die and they can't beat the room, you can still beat the room. And sometimes you just need them to just get go get the Switch, but die over there. I don't care, just get the Switch.
I don't care, fucking die over there.
The other stuff. So you can, because it's cool because the game will have single player missions and co-op missions. And the single player missions you can play in co-op mode, so people can help you do ones that are made for one person beat. You can have up to 4 people in there, as well as the co-op. But yeah, I think you and your son would actually enjoy that game. It's a puzzle game, and it's very rewarding.
It didn't have puzzle solving, but it's a platform puzzler because you got to puzzle.
Yeah,
it's
basic. Like hit a switch,
way.
Right?
Yeah. But like the puzzle is the platforming. Like jump onto this certain thing to jump here, to slide down here, and do all sorts of stuff. So that's why it was a It's a very tangential puzzle pull
Yeah.
from.
Yeah,
Nice.
good
Just
call.
popped in my head. So nice. All right, congrats, guys. You guys get to go to this scary murder manor at the top of some
Thank you.
mountain. So.
Mount Holly or whatever it is.
Sorry, bags are packed. Eric, why don't you get us out of here and let me go play another day.
Yeah. Well, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on all the platforms, mostly just
them.
Discord. Yeah, just all of them. Honestly, if you just Google Nomads of Fantasy, all our shit will come. Go to the website, nomadsoffantasy.com, nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. Hop in there, chat with us, chat some more about blueprints and whatnots. Keeping up on our fantasy critic. I haven't added anything to my fantasy critic lately. Except, I added the Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I think I only have.
E3's
Yeah,
coming,
I added
Summer
a
Game
Kirby
Fest.
game.
Do I have 2 slots left? Or
Kirby
3 slots?
Ooh.
Air Riders or something.
Oh yeah, there's a new Kirby Air Ride.
I just threw it. Yeah, I
crazy.
just snagged that.
Nice. Yeah.
Jumping on the Nintendo bandwagon to get some easy points.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Princess Zelda Soccer Smash Ultra whatever. All right, probably
Soccer
9 out of
Smash
10.
Ultra. I got Mario Kart World on there. I'm expecting that one to big.
Fuck. Yeah, that's gonna be a perfect 10.
I
They've
hope
been
so.
working on, dude. They've been milking like the last one forever. So
I'm so
that
fucking
this
For an
was
excited
entire
for
2 console
Mario Kart.
generations
Yeah.
off of
Crazy.
the same game.
Right. They didn't have a new Mario Kart on the Switch at all. It was Mario Kart
No,
8
DLCs.
Deluxe.
Yeah.
with the DLCs, yeah. Which, I mean, that game is fucking great, but I'm ready for something new in Mario Kart World.
Well,
Awesome.
I like this upgrade because you're getting way more cars.
Yeah.
Just
And
more
it's
players.
Forza
and it's
Horizon with
online
fucking
and-
Mario Kart. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That does
genius
look
move by Nintendo. They needed to evolve that genre because how many times
Yep.
you just remember this level? Yeah, we remember the level. You guys keep recycling the same shit. It's like create again. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking this game is going to be huge for them. So good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
And I'm going to try to get a Switch 2 pre-order in tonight.
Oh shit.
If that happens. I know. I'm going to regret it. Probably regret staying up too late and then not even end up getting one.
You won't be able to fall asleep because you're gonna be all jacked up
Yeah.
trying to get in there, refreshing as fast as you can.
Yep. Exactly.
Best of luck.
That'll be fun. But yeah, like I said, nomadsfantasy.com for all your nomad needs. youtube.com/@nomadsofantasy for the video versions and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll wrap this puppy up and go play. I gotta finish my run that I was currently in the middle of, so I'm excited to play our blueprints, and we'll update you on our progress in our next catch-up. But until next time, as always, travel.
Peace out.